Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Power Tools. I'm Bryce Roadman, and I'm covering Chapter 22. It is Notice and Wonder. My it's been messed up for a long time, so it's really blurry. But if you want to double check, Chapter 22 in the book, page 143. So this one is a pretty straightforward strategy. It is essentially just presenting something to the class, asking for what they can observe about it, their notices, and then asking them to expand on it and do research or have like a small activity that focuses in on one specific thing they noticed, or maybe summarizes all the things they noticed. That's the wonder part. So notice is making observations, and wonder is making conclusions, testing conclusions, doing research, that sort of thing. Really straightforward process. And let's see, there's one part that I think is rather important, is that there's a part where the class gets to choose where it goes, which is pretty unusual for a classroom, for it to be kind of like a vote. So from this point, this is in the first example. This point, the class can decide to collaboratively explore one particular wonder that was generated, or can collaboratively explore the many wonders that were generated. So for my example, biology classroom, it's pretty straightforward, because there's lots of things in biology where you can just show a picture and students will go, what is that? It's not like immediately apparent, but it is interesting and you'd be able to recognize things. So my go-to would be, there's this kind of parasitic plant called dodder. It is like this big stringy bunch of, I wouldn't say vines, but it is like a net kind of look to it. It's parasitic. It grows on top of other plants. Gets all its nutrients from that. And it's very noticeable because it is like orange or red, and the host plant is, green. So students would take one look at that picture and they'd probably notice a couple interesting things. Like, one, part of this plant is orange, part of it's green. Is this, or okay, well, hold on. We'll save that for later. That's a wonder, right? But they'll go, oh, part of it's green, part of it's orange. It has a very stringy texture that doesn't match with the rest of the plant. It seems to be, matted up on top, like it's a bunch of vines. And then those are your notices. Move on to wonders. Wonder is like, oh, is this how the plant reacts to autumn? Is this the leaves turning orange as we normally expect, or is this something else? And then another wonder is like, are these two plants that are intermingling with each other? And if so, is this symbiosis? Is this mutualism? Or is this parasitism? And then it actually is parasitism. So they would eventually collaboratively explore one particular wonder that were generated. I would go with the explore the many wonders that were generated, because there's a lot of different paths you could take. And eventually, I'm sure they would come to the conclusion of it being a parasitic plant. Definitely some supervised internet searches for looking up, plants that match the description, that seem to be growing on top of other plants. That general idea. So yeah, that's about it. I think that would work pretty well. Maybe something like a whiteboard, at the front of class, where students write down all their notices and then get back to their seats, group them up into groups. Each group picks one notice from the board and does a wonder on that. Goes more into the detail on one particular part. All right. Thanks for coming.